welcome. Happy Wednesday, YouTube, Instagram Live, everyone here joining in and tuning in. This is an all levels vinyasa flow, 60 minutes. And just a reminder that this is your practice. This is the time that you set out for yourself, for self love and self care. So if I ever cue anything that doesn't feel right or that you simply don't want to do, honor that. Honor your breath, honor your body, honor your practice today. We're going to get started in an easy seat or in a modified hero's pose. So whatever feels better to you, I like modified hero's pose. You can place a block underneath your sits bones if you'd like to lift yourself a little bit higher. Wherever you are, easy seat or modified hero's pose, can you settle in? Letting the shoulders melt away from the ears as the crown of your head lifts towards the ceiling, proud chest. Can you let the day go? Not worrying about your breath in this moment, just following the natural cadence. Noticing how that breath makes your belly rise and fall. Starting to bring awareness to your intention. Today, my word or my mantra is pause. And it's a mantra that I've been revisiting because in this quarantine, being in the same room with someone, our significant other, can sometimes be tough. And for me, it's been a challenge to pause and respond with love instead of responding with fear or with anxiousness or with anger. So in this practice, can we take that moment to pause? Can we slow things down in our breath? Inhale, full breath, filling the belly, filling the lungs, letting the collarbone expand, holding the breath at the top of the throat. And then opening the mouth, audible exhale, let something go. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, holding that breath at the top of the throat, and then exhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Starting to take these same inhales, fill the belly, fill the lungs, let the collarbone expand, holding the breath at the top of the throat, and then sealing the lips this time, letting the heat escape through both nostrils. Starting to dial into your Ujjayi pranayama or your victorious breath. That's just a fancy way of saying we're creating a slight constriction in the back of your throat as if you're fogging up a glass or a mirror. But sealing the lips and letting the heat escape through the nose. This pranayama or breathing helps us build heat with the body. So we don't have that 90-degree studio here, but we do have our bodies to start to build those heat. So can you dial into that victorious breath? Option to place both palms on the thighs or maybe even to heart center. Whatever resonates with you here, finding that breath, finding that Ujjayi pranayama. If your mind has wandered back to that intention, can you bring it back? Starting to blink the eyes open here, maybe a slight gaze towards the nose. We inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up, bring the palms to kiss, take a slight back bend, send the chest high, tuck the tailbone. Exhale, come back to neutral spine, bringing the right palm all the way to reach for the small of your back. Bringing the left palm to grab for that right elbow and sending the chin high. Can you take one inhale here? Expand through the lungs, lengthen in the spine. Exhale, release. Inhale, reaching the right palm to grab onto the left elbow. Can you inhale, lift the chest, send the chin high, finding opening in between the scapula or mid-shoulder blades. Sending the gaze towards the ceiling, take one expansive breath here, push into those elbows. And exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise, sending the left elbow behind the small of your back. Grabbing for that left elbow, inhale, reach up, lift the belly, lift the chest, reach the chin. Exhale, can you sink a little bit deeper, sending the left palm closer towards the earth. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, releasing that palm, grabbing for the right elbow. Here, can you expand through the lungs, lift the chest, find an opening in the chest. Push the elbows away from one another. Take one full inhale here. Exhale, release the palms, active listening. We're sending our palms behind our glutes, pushing the earth away from us, coming into a modified lifted tabletop reverse. So if this is where you are today, it's great. If you can push into those palms a little bit more, sending the gaze towards the ceiling, take one full inhale here. Exhale, slowly release down towards the glutes. And then coming into a seat at the top of your mat. In this seat, bringing the glutes towards the heels, grabbing the outside of the shins. Running through a few cat-cows. Inhale, lift the chest and chin, open up, cow pose. Exhale, can you ground down into those shins, hollow out the belly, gazes to the navel. Inhale, bolster your heart towards the stars, chin is high, cow pose. And then exhale, round the spine, gazes to the navel, hollow out the belly. Inhale, coming back to neutral, bringing that imaginary beach ball out in front of you. And then slow and controlled, using our core strength, we're coming all the way down onto our shoulder blades. Can you take your time here? Maybe counting all 33 vertebrae, challenging yourself, remembering to breathe. And if there's a spot that gets sticky, can you hold on, take a pause, and move even slower? Once those shoulders come to meet the earth, can you bring the knees into the chest, give yourself a squeeze. Grab underneath the thigh. We're starting to create rock and rolls here. Giving a massage to our spine, rock and rolling up and down, creating so much momentum here that you cross at the ankles and meet in a neutral tabletop at the top of your mat. In this neutral tabletop pose, our wrists are directly underneath the shoulder blades, knees are underneath the hips. Untucking the toes, dropping the belly low, sending the gaze high to the sky, opening up the chest for cow pose. Exhale, can you ground down into those palms, round the spine, gazes to the navel, cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly low, open up the chest, send your tailbone high. And then exhale, ground down into the palms, round the spine, gazes to the navel. Coming back to neutral here, paying attention to those architectural lines. Wrists directly underneath the shoulder blades, knees are hips width distance apart underneath the hips. We're tucking those toes, rising 2.5 inches off the earth in a lifted tabletop. This is one of my favorite poses because you can really feel your strength here. Push the earth away from you as if you're pushing your mat. Gaze is in between the palms, sending the chin to slightly tuck in towards the chest. Feeling a slight protraction in those shoulder blades, can you push the earth away from you a little bit more, holding here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, you got this, yogis. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing the knees down to the earth, untucking the toes. Sending the left palm to reach out in front of you as if you're shaking someone's hand. Sending the right or left shoulder to tuck into its socket. And then slow and controlled, start to bring the right foot back. Lifting the heel high to the sky if that feels good to you. And if you're with me, can you tilt the inner rotation of this right thigh, sending the toes towards the earth, finding a flat back. Inhale, lift up, find a line as if there's a line pulling your thumb and heel. Exhale, knee to elbow, round the spine, crunch it in. Inhale, reach for something you desire, lift the heel. And then exhale, round the spine, crunch it in. Last one, yogis, lift out as if you're shaking someone's hand, lifting the heel. And then exhale, round the spine, gazes towards the navel. Active listening, we're coming all the way back, reaching out in front of us, planting the left palm to meet the right, tucking the elbows in towards the ribs, and then coming onto this left toe. We're moving our chest and chin down towards the earth for a modified chaturanga push-up. And then inhale, release, bringing the right knee back to the left. Running through one cat-cow to reset in the spine, drop the belly low, open up the chest, send the gaze high. And then exhale, ground down into the palms, round the spine. Inhale, coming back to neutral. Right palm reaches out in front of you as if you're shaking someone's hand, sending the shoulder to tuck into its socket, grounding down into this left palm. Slow and controlled, starting to untuck the toe and bring the left heel high to the sky. Sending the left toes to find an inner rotation of the thigh to square off the hip. Inhale, reach the thumb and heel towards one center line. Exhale, round the spine, gaze is towards the navel, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach for something you desire, lift the heel. Exhale, release, sending the knee to elbow. Last one, yogis, reach out in front of you, lift the heel high, and then tuck the elbows in towards the knee, round the spine. Inhale, reach with that right hand, active listening, planting the right palm down towards the earth, tucking the right toes, tucking the elbows in towards the ribs, and then slowly lowering down for a modified push-up. Inhale, push the earth away from you, finding that tabletop pose once again. In this tabletop pose, I want you to shut the eyes down and take any free movement that your body is craving here. So maybe that's moving out the wrists. Maybe that's rocking the neck back and forth. Maybe that's coming into a child's pose here. Wherever you are in your practice, explore for 2 more breaths through this tabletop. And when you're ready, coming back to that neutral tabletop. Wrists directly underneath the shoulder blades, knees underneath the hips. We're tucking those toes, rising 2.5 inches off the earth for that lifted tabletop. Building strength with familiarity. Can you send your gaze in between the palms? Can you push the earth away from you, protracting the shoulder blades, holding here? Maybe running through a few cat-cows if you'd like an additional challenge with lifted knees. Dropping the belly low, open up the chest, send the gaze high. You got this, yogis. Exhale, ground down into the palms, round the spine, gazes to the navel. Inviting those shakes into your practice, that means you're getting stronger. Drop the belly low, send the gaze high. Exhale, round the spine, gazes towards the navel, cat pose. Coming back to neutral for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lifting the hips high to the sky, finding that inverted V shape here. Ardha Mukha Svanasana, or downward facing dog. Our feet are hips width distance apart. Our palms are a little bit wider than shoulder width distance. Grounding down into the base knuckle of the index finger and the thumb, sending the chest towards the thighs, sending the gaze in between the ankles to elongate the neck. Taking 1 full inhale in this downward facing dog. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, release. Inhale, both heels lift high to the sky. Exhale, release them down towards the earth. Gaze is in between the palms. We walk, step, jump, hop, or float to the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift out of the Uttanasana, creating a number 7 with your spine. Tucking those shoulders in towards the back wall, slightly tucking the chin in towards the chest. You have a flat back here. Picture your favorite plate of food or even your favorite drink on your back, trying not to spill. And then exhale, release, sink down. Inhale, rise up, root to rise, reach all the way up, reaching with intention, gazes in between the palms. Maybe you take a slight back bend here, tucking the tailbone in. And then exhale, swan diving, leading with the chest, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift out of the Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the palms. You're moving into your high plank. In this high plank, as if you're in that lifted tabletop, can you push the earth away from you, slightly protracting the shoulder blades? Heels are above the toes here. Take 1 full inhale here. Exhale, we're coming all the way over our wrists, tucking those elbows in towards the thighs. Lowering down to that low plank, holding here. Take 1 full inhale. Exhale, push the earth away from you. Find that high plank. Feel your strength. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, tuck those elbows in towards the ribs, lower down for low plank. Take 1 full breath. And then exhale, push the earth away from you, high plank. Option to drop down to those knees if this is too much. Tuck the elbows in towards the ribs. We're lowering all the way down onto our bellies. Untucking the toes, coming into our Bhujangasana or low cobra. In this low cobra pose, your palms are directly underneath your shoulder blades, bringing the shoelace portion of your feet down towards the earth. Inhale, option to lift the palms off the earth to test your strength. Sending the elbows to magnetize towards one another. Take one full inhale here. Exhale, maybe you lift a little bit higher, sending the chin down towards the chest. And then exhale, plant the palms towards the earth, roll over the toes, find that inverted V shape, downward facing dog. In this downward facing dog, generously bending in both knees here, getting juicy. Gaze is in between the palms. We look, step, jump, hop, or float to the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift out of the Uttanasana, creating that number 7. Exhale, Uttanasana, melt down. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up, really reaching with intention with those palms. Maybe taking a slight back bend here, and then swan diving, leading with the chest, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, high to low plank, you flow, you grow. In this Chaturanga Dandasana, can you tuck those elbows in towards the ribs before you lower down? Upward facing dog, this time arcing the chest through. Active listening, sending the shoelace portion of our feet to push down into the earth. Pushing the palms into our mat, sending the shoulders to melt away from the ears and slightly tuck the chest. Tuck the chin in towards the chest. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, roll over those toes, downward facing dog. Here we go, yogis, starting to build our heat. One breath per movement, one more sun A. Gaze is in between the palms. We look, step, jump, or hop, or float to the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up. Active listening, we're grabbing for that left wrist. And then moving over towards the right side, spiraling your chest towards the ceiling. Take one full inhale here. Finding expansion through this left lung. Can you sink a little bit deeper? Grounding down into this left heel, take one more inhale. Rising up through center. Grabbing for the right wrist, moving over towards the left side, spiraling your chest towards the ceiling. Take one full inhale here. Exhale, release a little bit deeper. Inhale through center. Exhale, swan dive, leading with the chest, hinging at the hips, coming all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, high to low plank, you flow, you grow. Tuck those elbows in towards the ribs, arcing the chest through for upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, rolling over the toes. We're here for one reset breath. Inhale, both heels lift high to the sky. Exhale, can you sink those heels a little bit lower onto your mat? Inhale, bringing both feet together to touch, and then right foot lifts high to the sky, three-legged dog. Option to point the toe here, or option to find that slight inner rotation, sending the right toes towards the earth to square off the hip. Scorpion tailing the right heel towards left glute. If that right armpit shoots up towards the ceiling, can you square it off towards your mat? Starting to draw big circles with this right knee. First moving clockwise, and then switching the direction to counterclockwise. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, shoulders over wrists. Maybe you give that knee a kiss. Three-legged dog. Right knee to right elbow, make a connection, hold. Three-legged dog. Right knee to left elbow, cross body, hold. Inhale, three-legged dog. Right knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, really protract in your shoulder blades here. So push the earth away from you. We're trying to give ourselves a little bit of lift so we can plant the right foot in between the palms. Left palm stays grounded, right palm lifts high to the sky for that easy twist. Take one full breath here. Exhale, goalposting the arms, finding an opening in the chest and in the back. Inhale, coming back to neutral. Slow and controlled, grounding down into this right foot. We're lifting up into a twisted lunge. Taking your time in this twisted lunge to find your balance. Maybe you open up your wings a little bit wider. We're here for one full inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, right palm comes behind you. Left palm paints a rainbow towards the ceiling. And then exhale, bringing the left palm down towards the earth, finding that easy twist again. Slow and controlled, bringing all the weight onto this left side, getting strong in our Vashisthasana side plank. Option to drop this bottom knee down to modify, or option to up level by lifting that top leg high to the sky, finding a variation of this side plank. Wherever you are, can you push the left palm into the earth, sending your right hip a little bit higher? Take one more full inhale. Exhale, slow and controlled, right palm comes down to the earth. Maybe that right leg stays lifted for a one-legged chaturanga. As you tuck the elbows in towards the ribs, lower down, arcing the chest through, upward facing dog. Exhale, rolling over the toes, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Using this down dog as our active resting pose, finding your breath, taking your time to maybe come back to that intention. One breath to reset. Inhale, both heels lift high to the sky. Exhale, sink them deep into the earth. Inhale, both feet come together to touch at the back of your mat. Right foot lifts high to the sky, three-legged dog, option to point the toe, or option to find that squareness of the hips, sending the right toes towards the earth. Scorpion tailing the left heel towards right glute. If that left armpit shoots up towards the ceiling, can you take this opportunity to square it off towards your mat? Starting to create those big circles with your left knee, first moving clockwise. Getting juicy in the synovial fluid of this left hip. Maybe you switch the direction to counterclockwise. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in. Maybe you give that knee a kiss. Three-legged dog. Left knee to left elbow, make a connection, hold. Inhale, three-legged dog. Left knee to right elbow, cross body, hold. Inhale, three-legged dog. Left knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, really protract in the shoulder blades here. Bringing the left foot in between the palms and then opening up for that easy twist. Left palm lifts high to the sky. In this easy twist, taking one full inhale here. Exhale, goal posting in the arms, finding an opening in the chest. And then returning back to neutral. Inhale, grounding down into this right foot. We're rising up into that twisted lunge. Taking your time to create that balance on your mat, committing to this bend in this left knee. Maybe you open up the chest a little bit wider. Take one full inhale here. Exhale, left palm comes down towards the thigh, reaching past with the right. And then bringing the right palm down towards the earth, gazes to the left fingertips. Slow and controlled, bringing all the weight onto this right side, finding Vashisthasana side plank. Option to drop this bottom knee to modify. Or maybe you up level by lifting that top leg high to the sky. Wherever you are in this side plank, can you push the earth away from you with this right palm, sending the right hip or left hip a little bit higher? We're here for one more breath. You got this, yogis. Exhale, left palm comes down towards the earth. Maybe that left foot stays lifted for a one-legged chaturanga. Tucking the elbows in towards the ribs, lowering down. Upward facing dog, pull the chest through. Exhale, big toes come together to touch, sending the chest down towards the earth, child's pose. Woof! I'm getting groovy here, yogis, getting nice and sweaty. Taking this moment to pause. Taking this moment to come back to that intention that I set in the beginning of class. Wherever you are in this child's pose, can we take a collective breath together? Inhale, filling the belly, filling the lungs. Exhale, release. Inhale, rising up to that inverted V shape here, downward facing dog. Bringing both feet together to touch at the back of our mat. Right foot lifts high to the sky, three-legged dog. Option to keep that toe pointed or option to find that inner rotation, squaring off the hips. Bending at the knee, starting to make those big circles here, getting a little bit more fluid in our body. And then switching the direction to counterclockwise. Inhale, three-legged dog, scorpion tailing that right heel towards left glute. If you're ready, starting to bring all the weight onto the left palm and finding that flip dog. Reaching for something you desire with the right palm, maybe coming to full wheel if that's in your practice. And then slow and controlled, right palm comes down towards the earth. Right foot lifts high to the sky, three-legged dog. Right knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in. Maybe you gave that knee a kiss. Three-legged dog. Right knee to right elbow. If EPK is in your practice and you'd like to fly, you're more than welcome. Three-legged dog. Left knee to right, or right knee to left elbow, cross body hold. Inhale, three-legged dog. Right knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, plant the right foot in between the palms. We're rising up for that crescent warrior here. In this crescent warrior, we're creating a right angle with this right knee. Our back foot is facing towards the front of your mat. Our back heel is stacked above the toes. Here in this crescent warrior, can you take a moment to find this breath? Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, maybe you sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, releasing and moving into your warrior two. Pivoting the back foot to be parallel to the top of your mat and then committing to this bend in this right knee. In this warrior two, can you square your hips off to the left? Send your drishti or gaze to the right fingertips. Let the shoulder blades melt away from the ears. Take one full inhale here. Exhale, active listening. We're coming onto the tiptoe of this right foot just for a moment. And then straightening that right leg, reaching for something you desire and coming into your Trikonasana triangle pose. From this triangle pose, can you send your gaze to the left fingertips? Maybe planting the palms into this right shin to lift the chest a little bit higher. As if you're in two panes of glass, tucking the tailbone in, take one full inhale here. Exhale, reverse Trikonasana, reaching back behind you. And then active listening, we're bending into this right knee, coming back to that warrior two. From this warrior two pose, bringing the right forearm to rest onto the left or the right thigh. And then opening for Parsvakonasana or extended side angle. Maybe in this extended side angle, you reach for a bind and find your bird of paradise. Wherever you are in this pose, can you spiral your chest towards the ceiling? Take one full inhale here. Exhale, release. Inhale, bringing both palms to reach for that imaginary beach ball, turning those obliques on. And then rising all the way up through center, committing to the bend in the right knee. Bringing the arms in front of you, lifting, straightening in both legs. And then cartwheeling the palms to frame this right foot. Slowly shortening your stance, finding your pyramid pose here. Take one inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, surrendering that chest down towards this right shin. Take one full breath. In your pyramid pose, can you send your right hip towards the back wall? Sending your gaze towards the left toe here. Take one full inhale. Exhale, release. If this is enough for your hamstring, you can always stay. If you're looking for a little bit more, maybe you start to lift the right toes off the earth. Maybe you come into flamingo pose with me, bringing both palms to face the back of the mat. Bringing all the weight into this right foot and then sending the left toes to tink towards the earth. Wherever you are in your pyramid pose, can you take one more breath? Exhale, releasing that left foot if you found that flamingo pose. Bringing the palms to frame this right foot and then lifting the left heels high to the sky, finding that standing split. In this standing split, you have a few options. First, you can stay here and play with some handstand hops, or you can come with me for 3 curtsy dips. So you can bring the palms into heart center for more of a challenge, or maybe you tent the fingertips. Left knee comes down towards the right ankle, sending the left toes towards the right side of the mat. And then inhale, standing split. Left knee behind the right ankle, sending the left toes to the right side of the mat. Standing split. Last one, knee to ankle, send the toes to the right. Inhale, standing split. Active listening, slowly bringing the left foot towards the right. Grabbing opposite elbows for ragdoll pose. Taking this opportunity to bend in the knees, inviting the chest to kiss the thighs. We're going to run through one lion's breath together here, yogis. Lion's breath, you inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, stick that tongue out, let that shit go. Ha! One more breath here, yogis. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, stick that tongue out, let that shit go. Planting both palms towards the earth and then bringing your inner toes to come for a slight inner rotation. Grabbing both elbows once again and holding into those elbows as we did in the beginning of class. We're bending at the knees and then rising up for Utkatasana chair pose with a bind. In this Utkatasana chair pose, take a look at your alignment. Can you push into the elbows, sending your chest high? Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, sink down a little bit deeper. If your knees surpass your toes, can you bring that butt back and find the natural curvature of your spine? Take one inhale here. Exhale, release. Last breath, yogis. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs, squeeze the core in. Exhale, come to rise, and then find that forward fold. Planting the palms into the earth, stepping back to your high plank. Choosing your vinyasa here. High to low plank, tuck those elbows into the ribs, upward facing dog, pull the chest through. Exhale, downward facing dog, finding that inverted V shape. In this downward facing dog, we're here for 5 full breaths. So maybe you drop down to the knees for child's pose. Maybe you towel off and grab a sip of water. Maybe you stay in this downward facing dog and breathe into this. Wherever you are, can you bring your awareness back to your intention? Taking this pause in our practice to realign and to reset. One more collective breath in this downward facing dog. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release. Inhale, both feet come together to touch at the back of your mat. Lifting the left heel high to the sky, finding that 3-legged dog. Option to point the toe or option to send that inner rotation, squaring off the hips. Scorpion tailing, left heel towards right glute. If that left armpit shoots up towards the ceiling, can you square it off towards your mat? Starting to create those big circles with the left knee, first moving clockwise. And then switching the direction to counterclockwise. Inhale, 3-legged dog, scorpion tail, left heel towards right glute. And if you're ready, grounding down into the right palm, finding your flip dog, reaching for something you desire with the left palm. Maybe moving into full wheel if that's in your practice today. And then slow and controlled, left palm comes down towards the earth. Left foot lifts high to the sky, 3-legged dog. Left knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in. Maybe you give that knee a kiss. 3-legged dog. Left knee to left elbow, fly. If you'd like to fly, make a connection. 3-legged dog. Left knee to right elbow, cross body hold. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Left knee to nose, round the spine, crunch it in, protracting the shoulder blades here so you can plant your left foot in between the palms. Rising up for crescent warrior or Anjaneyasana, take one full breath. And then exhale, settle in. Can you squeeze those inner thighs towards one another? Engage in the glutes, let the shoulders melt away from the ears. Take one full inhale here. Exhale, releasing, pivoting the back foot to be parallel to the top of your mat. And then committing to this bend in this warrior 2. Inhale, reach for something you desire. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, coming back to that warrior 2. Active listening, letting the shoulder blades melt away from the ears, sending the gaze towards the left fingertips. Maybe, if it feels good, starting to come onto the tiptoe of this left foot. Take one full inhale. Exhale, straightening in this left leg, reaching for something you desire, hinging at the hips, and then coming down for that Trikonasana triangle pose. In this Trikonasana triangle pose, as if your body's in 2 panes of glass, can you slightly tuck the tailbone in, maybe using this left shin to push against to lift the chest a little bit higher. Wherever you are, take one full inhale here. Exhale, reverse Trikonasana, reaching behind you. And then bending into this left knee, coming into Parsva Konasana or extended side angle. Bringing the left forearm to come onto the left thigh, opening up the chest, spiraling towards the ceiling. Take one inhale here. Exhale, bringing that imaginary beach ball out towards the side and using those obliques, we're rising all the way up through center. Coming back into that warrior two for just a moment. Straightening in both legs for that Trikonasana. And then cartwheeling the palms to frame this left foot. Maybe shortening that stance, stepping the right foot closer. Take a halfway lift, inhale, lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, melting down for that pyramid pose, sending the left thigh towards the left shin. A few options in this pyramid pose. First, making sure that your left hip is coming towards the back wall, sending the gaze towards the right toes. Maybe you stay here and breathe into this hamstring stretch. Maybe you lift the left toes for a little bit of a deeper stretch. Maybe you're coming with me through flamingo, bringing the palms to face the back of the mat, sending all the weight into this left foot and then tinking the right toes high to the sky. Wherever you are in this pyramid pose, exploring, take one full inhale here. And then exhale, release the right foot down towards the earth. Bringing the palms to frame this left foot and then lifting the right heel high to the sky for that standing split. A few options here. If handstand hops are in your practice and you'd like to play, you're more than welcome. If you're with me, I'm running through 3 curtsy dips. Option to leave the palms onto the earth, or maybe you up level by bringing the palms into the chest. Sending the right knee towards the left ankle, sending the right toes towards the left of your mat to tap. Inhale, standing split. Right knee to ankle, send the right toes to the left of your mat to tap. Standing split. Last one, yogis. Right knee to the left ankle, send the right toes towards the left. And then inhale, standing split. Bringing the palms down towards the earth and then sending the right foot towards the left. Grabbing opposite elbows for this ragdoll pose. Seeing if you can switch the grips, so grabbing opposite elbows. Letting the head hang heavy here, a slight bend in both knees to invite that decompression in your neck and spine. Taking one lion's breath here. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, stick that tongue out, let that shit go. Release. Last one, yogis. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release. Bringing the toes to slightly face towards one another, finding that inner rotation. Bending at the knee, keeping the bind, Utkatasana chair pose with the bind. Here in Utkatasana chair pose, can you push into those elbows, sending the chest towards the ceiling? Slightly tucking the tailbone in, finding the natural curvature of your spine. Just like life, yogis, when things get tough, we stay up. Grounding down, take one full inhale here. Exhale, can you sink a little bit lower? As if you're trying to rip your mat in two, really ground down into the feet. You should feel your outer glutes turn on. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, can you sink 2 inches lower? Last one, yogis. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, planting the palms down towards the earth, maybe coming into your Bakasana crow pose if you'd like. Crow pose. For crow pose, we bring our index fingers to create a number 11 at the top of our mat. Bringing both knees into the armpits, creating a shelf here with your forearms and your triceps. So maybe in this Bakasana crow, one foot lifts off the earth today. Starting to send the weight towards the top of your mat and to the palms, maybe that second toe lifts off the earth. Maybe no toes lift off the earth today, and that's totally okay. Wherever you are, take one full inhale here, sending the navel in towards the spine. And then exhale, maybe you jump back, step back, hop back to that chaturanga. Upward facing dog, pull the chest through. Exhale, child's pose, big toes come together to touch. Sending the hips towards the heels, sending your chest down towards the earth. In this child's pose, maybe taking this opportunity to towel off, grabbing some water here. Taking a moment to pause and reset on your mats. I don't know about you guys, but this hump day I am sweating. This is a hot, juicy one. Wherever you are in this child's pose, can you take this moment to reset? Can you tell yourself that you're stronger than you think? You got this. Inhale, walking the palms close to the body, finding that downward facing dog. In this downward facing dog, right foot lifts high to the sky, three-legged dog. And then inhale, right knee towards the nose, round the spine, protract in the shoulder blades, planting the right foot in between the palms. We're rising up for that crescent warrior one more time, or Anjaneyasana. In this Anjaneyasana, creating that right angle with this right knee. Our back foot is pivoted towards the front. Our back heel is stacked above the back toes. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs, squeeze those inner thighs together, engage the glutes. And then exhale, release the shoulders to melt down the spine. We're here for one more breath. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, palms come into heart center, launching off for that warrior three. Whoop. Finding that balance in this right foot, sending the left toes towards the earth, finding that internal rotation of this left foot. Take a slight bend in this right knee to create a strong foundation here, and then lift the chest, finding an up dog quality in your warrior three. In this warrior three, we're taking a pause, taking a moment to feel your strength. Take one full inhale here. Exhale, slow and controlled. Left foot comes to the back of your mat, opening the palms, bending in this right knee for warrior two. We're coming into that cool warrior two variation that I just think looks so pretty and feels really strong. So if you're with me in this warrior two, we're bending into this right knee, sending the tip toes. So you should feel it in your calf and your entire right leg. Mine's on fire. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, cross at the wrists here, sending your hips to square off to the left side. Here, maybe you start to find that opening in the chest, moving back and then spiraling up towards the ceiling. Take one more inhale here. Straightening in both legs, reaching for that Trikonasana triangle pose. Holding here. In this Trikonasana triangle pose, can you take one halfway lift, pushing the right palm into the shin? Exhale, release. Inhale, reverse Trikonasana, sending the palms towards the back of the wall. And then exhale, cartwheeling the palms to frame this right foot. Quickly moving into that standing split, grounding down into the right foot, and then lifting the left heels high to the sky. From this standing split, active listening, sending the left toes towards the top of your mat, to the mat to square off the hips. Maybe, if it feels good, bringing the palms in towards the chest. Really testing our strength here. We're moving backwards, coming into warrior three. Take a slight bend in this right knee, lift the chest, feel your body lengthen. Taking one full inhale here, find that up dog quality in the chest. Maybe you switch your arms. And then when you're ready, lifting all the way up, sending the left heel to meet the right. We're into Dasana mountain pose. Sending the palms on the opposite side of either parts of your body, letting the shoulders melt away from the ears. Taking one full breath here. Exhale, maybe you bring the palms into heart center. Taking a moment of gratitude for this beating heart. Taking a moment of gratitude to pause and tell yourself you're stronger than you think. You got this. This pause allows me to respond with love instead of responding with fear or aggravation. On my mat and in the real world, sometimes I just want to say, fuck this shit, let's give up. Sometimes that's how I feel on my mat. But can we ground down? Can we be here truly in this moment? Taking one full inhale here, lift the belly, root to rise, reach all the way up, gazes in between the palms. Exhale, swan dive, leading with the chest hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, high to low plank, you flow, you grow. Tucking those elbows in towards the ribs as you lower down. Upward facing dog, pull the chest through, arcing the chest. And then exhale, downward facing dog. We have one more side, yogis, before we start to slow it down. You got this. Coming into that really beautiful warrior two variation. Inhale, left foot lifts high to the sky. And then exhale, bring the left knee in towards the nose, round the spine, protract in the shoulder blades. Maybe you give that knee a kiss. Three-legged dog. Left knee towards the nose, round the spine, crunch it in, plant the left foot in between the palms. We're rising up for that crescent warrior here. In this crescent warrior, both toes are pivoted towards the front. Our back heel is lifted and stacked above the toes. Squeezing the inner thighs together, releasing in the glutes and letting the shoulder blades melt away from the ears. Take one full inhale here. Exhale, release. Control the breath, control the mind. You got this, yogis. Palms come into heart center, sending the chest in front of the chin, launching off for warrior three, rising all the way up. In this warrior three, can you send the right toes to square off towards the mat? A slight bend in this left knee, opening up the chest. Take one full inhale here. Exhale, release. One more breath. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs, lift the chest. Exhale, planting the right foot down to the earth, spiraling the arms and opening up into that warrior two, bending into this left knee. In this warrior two pose, can you come up to the tiptoes of this left foot? Can you cross at the wrists, sending your chest towards the right side, squaring off the hip? If it feels good, maybe you start to release, bending back, spiraling your chest towards the ceiling, reaching for the back wall, keeping that bend. If that left foot is burning, so is mine. Take one more full inhale here. Exhale, releasing, straightening in both legs, melting down, hinging at the hips, finding Trikonasana, triangle pose. In this Trikonasana triangle pose, trying not to dump all the way into this left palm. Maybe you push into this left shin, take one full inhale here. Exhale, release. Inhale, reverse Trikonasana, reaching for that back wall. And then exhale, spiraling the palms to frame this left foot. Slow and controlled, grounding down into this left foot, rising the right heel up for standing split. So from the standing split, we're going to reverse, coming back into warrior three. So in this standing split, can you slightly bend this left knee? Maybe you bring the palms into heart center. Start to lift the chest, activate in this left foot, rise all the way up. Sending the right toes towards the earth to square off the hip. Take one full inhale here. You're strong, yogis. You got this. Lift the chest a little bit higher, maybe switching the arm variation. Watching out for your plant babies if you have any. Take one more breath here. You got this. Slow and controlled, rising the right foot to meet the left. Bringing the palms on the outside of both bodies or both hips. And then letting the shoulders melt away from the ears. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up. Exhale, swan dive, leading with the chest, hinging at the hips, coming all the way down. Planting the palms into the earth, sending the toes down to your mat, coming onto the tiptoes, and then coming into a modified toe stand here. So I'll come in front of you for this modified toe stand, just so you guys can get a better look. Bringing my ankles to squeeze towards one another, squeezing my thighs together, sending my chest high, proud chest. Maybe I bring my palms into heart center. If you squeeze that center line in, if you don't squeeze that center line in, you fall. If you squeeze that core in, lift up, rise up, bringing the knees together. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, releasing down, coming on to the glutes, bringing the feet out in front of us. Bringing the toes to come towards the shin. You should be so active in those feet that your heel should magically lift off the earth. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up. Exhale, swan dive, reaching down for Paschimottanasana, forward fold. In this Paschimottanasana, I don't want you to think about touching your toes. I want you to think chest to thigh versus nose to knee. So we're keeping an up dog quality in our chest, finding that integrity of your flat back and spine. So maybe that looks like this today with bent knees, and that's totally okay. Wherever you are in this Paschimottanasana forward fold, can you take one inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, maybe you sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, walk the palms close to the body, bringing the glutes towards the heels, grabbing the shin, giving yourself a little squeeze. And then running through a few cat-cows here. Just to reset the spine, grabbing the tops of the shin. Inhale, lift the chest and chin, open up. Exhale, round the spine, gaze to the navel. Inhale, reaching out in front of you, and slow and controlled, coming full circle. Are you a little bit stronger here? Can you take that extra moment to challenge yourself? Remembering to breathe, remembering to smile, taking your time coming onto the back of your mat. Maybe you're like, F this, I'm so done. Or maybe you feel that bliss, you feel that magic of yoga starting to happen. Slow and controlled, coming all the way down onto our shoulders, bringing the knees into the chest. And then bringing both feet up high to the sky for an L shape. We're going to come into pigeon pose on our backs. So here in this pigeon pose, first bringing the right ankle to stack or place upon the left thigh. Grabbing underneath the left thigh here, sending the left knee in towards the face as you use this right elbow to push the right thigh away from you. Can you bring the low back onto the earth? Can you dorsiflex in both fins, being active in both legs? Wherever you are in this pigeon pose, can you take one full inhale here? Exhale, what can you release? What can you leave with me on your mats tonight? Maybe that's a person, thought, or situation that poisons your well-being. Whatever it is, this is your opportunity to let that shit go. One more breath here. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release both feet high to the sky. Maybe shaking them out here. And then bringing the left ankle above or on top of the right thigh, creating that figure four. Reaching underneath the right thigh, grabbing, and then sending the right knee in towards the face. Can you simultaneously use this left elbow to push this left thigh away from you? Dorsiflexing in both fins, staying super active in your feet, sending the low back to touch the earth. We're here in this pigeon pose for 3 breaths. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release, let something go. Finding the comfortability and the uncomfortability of this pose, take one more inhale here. Exhale, bringing both heels high to the sky, creating that L shape. Bringing the right knee in towards the chest, letting the left foot drop down towards the earth. Setting up for a supine twist, right knee comes cross body, palms come out towards a T. Can you bring both shoulder blades to press into the earth while simultaneously sending the right knee down? Maybe that left palm comes towards the right knee to give it a little bit of help here. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, release through center. Bringing both knees into the chest, giving yourself a squeeze through that center line. And then exhale, releasing the right foot down towards the earth. Left knee comes cross body for that supine twist. Opening up the palms to a T, sending both shoulder blades to press against your mat. Maybe that right palm comes on towards this left thigh, sending the left knee closer towards the earth. Wherever you are, can you take one full inhale here? Exhale, releasing, bringing both knees into the chest. Grabbing those knees, giving yourself a little squeeze. And then taking this opportunity to find any poses that maybe you're craving that I did not call for. So maybe that's legs up the wall, that inversion here, where you just let all the blood flow from your toes towards your hips. Maybe you find a handstand, shoulder stand, tripod headstand, or whatever fancies your body. Maybe you come into a happy baby, grabbing the outside of the feet, rocking, massaging that low back on your mat, moving back and forth. Wherever you are in your final inversion, can you start to make your way out? Can you start to find a comfortable final resting pose? Maybe moving the blocks or water bottles out of the way. Maybe releasing those thoughts in your head. Wherever you are, taking one full collective breath together. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs. Exhale, release. This is what we worked for. This moment of bliss. Can you release those thoughts and be here with me in this final resting pose? Taking a full body scan, starting from the crown of your head. Relaxing in your third eye and uncrinkling the space between the brows. Releasing in your mouth, maybe taking the tongue to slightly graze the tops of your teeth. And then releasing the jaw. Softening in the throat, in the chest, in the arms, and in your fingers. Softening in your sternum, your belly, your hips. Relaxing in your thighs, unbuckling your knees. Releasing in your calves, your shins, and your ankles. Can you relax in the tops of your feet and in your toes? Can you take a moment to come back to that intention? Come back to that mantra that we talked about in the beginning of class. Can you pause to cultivate a vibrant surrounding and commit yourself to moving towards the things in your life that strengthen your well-being, that cultivate a surrounding that helps you for your full beauty and your full purpose. Starting to bring awareness back to the body, we wiggle our fingers. Bringing life back into our toes, we give those a little wiggle. Bringing both knees into the chest, giving yourself a squeeze. Thanking yourself for showing up on your mats today for self-love and self-care. Choosing either the right side or the left side to fall onto a fetal position using your bicep as a pillow. This pose represents rebirth, knowing that every single time we step off our mats and into the world is an opportunity for us to begin again. Planting both palms into the earth, rising up to a seated position facing any which way you desire. Bringing the palms to gather all this beautiful energy we've created as a community, and palms down to heart center for gratitude. The perfectly imperfect student in me bows, honors, and respects the teachers in all of you. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice tonight. Namaste.